Ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime!
Hello? Okay, oh my god, I'm gonna lose it. Why... Why did it reassign my audio? Thank you for letting me know. That is really annoying. Oh my god. And then it also kicked me out of the match anyway, so it's not like it matters. Okay, as I was saying, while muted, welcome to Skullgirls Get Gr8. This is an educational event where we will pair y'all up against someone around your skill level as best we can. Try and give y'all advice. Hopefully give y'all pointers on a couple things to focus on and work towards over the next couple weeks for you to kind of improve your gameplay. Help you learn a little bit better. Scuff start, par for the course at this point. Hopefully Skullgirls lets me actually spectate today, because I'm going to lose my mind if I cannot actually run this event right now. I'm going to be so upset. What is going on? Okay, close as many programs as I can. Surely that will help. No, the health bars are yellow. What is this? Why? I'm gonna lose it. Please work. I swear. Oh my god, okay. Let's begin. Good defense. Don't even believe. Level 3? You did sign up for beginner, right? Am I crazy? So I think I'm gonna go ahead and say, for future reference, Tom Turtle, you could probably sign up for intermediate. You look like you have a significantly better understanding of this game than we expect from this side. But okay, so I really liked your defense at the start, Centipede. If you can continue blocking and push blocking like you did at the start, push blocking consistently, trying to do it on reaction on the second or third hit. Oh, yeah, you were trying to get it there. That will help your defense a lot. But there comes a certain point when someone is... Yes, mash. Okay. So you do... There comes a certain point when someone is literally just running at you and throwing caution to the wind. You need to know what your invulnerable options are. So you have your flash kick, which you just used, and you have your retina contact lens secret, but not the one that sends the beam out, or shield out. You could have fished there. Pop, pop, pop. Oh, that wasn't even a counter hit. Okay. Okay. Still working on combos. I'd be very careful about going into Salt Grinder on block. You got kind of lucky they pressed there. But that is a very dangerous habit. For you, Turtle, the Philia are keeping their options relatively safe. Band, I'm going to caution you to hold off on sending as many brasses as you are. Because if you're playing versus someone who's patient and not opening themselves up to risk, you will die, like you started to when they blocked the brass SSJ. Your team has no way to bail from that situation, so that is a very, very dangerous option.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime.
This is starting to get a little more into intermediate advice, but Centipede, if you are wanting to press, if you're gonna be taking the risk to jab in some of these situations, it is pretty important to go with the follow through. You are not going to hit confirm. Good mash, by the way. You are not going to hit confirm off a single light in this game. It is not something almost anyone does, even at the highest level. It is hard. Yeah, okay. Gotta learn a little bit more of push blocking, but again, like, Tom is playing really well, so it's hard to deal with. Yeah, so the biggest things for you, Centipedicure, it's like learning slightly better push block timings. Again, a lot of these are straying into a little bit more intermediate advice because that's what Tom's kind of putting you through, unfortunately. Push blocking multi-hits is usually, you want to hit the last hit of it, because if you push block it early, you don't send them anywhere. Oh, don't push block that, though. That is something you can punish after you block. Good defense, patient defense. Good push blocks. Pop. Good mash. You know they're not respecting any of your options. Oh, unfortunate drop. And for you, Tom, you're doing a lot of options that leave yourself very much at risk. Again. So, calming it down, choosing a bit safer options, so like those jump light kicks, perfect. That is normal, very standard for big wins. E-break to keep yourself safe on block, love to see it. Don't let like that brass has much. Unfortunate drop. Good jump on that. Fish! Yeah, so, again, going back to that point, if you're going to try and hit someone, highly recommend going to a medium. Try to get your hit confirms to a point where you can hit like light, medium, and by the time you've pressed the medium, react to whether you've hit them or they're blocked, and then kind of change it from there. Either go into your launcher afterwards, or cut it short, or go into slurp and slide because it's a plus option for you. Jab checking can interrupt people's offense, but even better than that is getting a full combo afterwards. So it's like, if you're going to take the risk, you might as well follow through, if that makes sense. Again, this is kind of getting a bit more into intermediate, but as a beginner, highly, highly recommend light, medium, react to if they got hit or not. And again, if they got hit, go into your full combo. If they blocked, either just stop, because you're usually safe on a medium, or go to like a safe on block special. There's pluses and minuses for both, but we're not really caring about that right now at this level. That gets much further down the pipeline. Yeah. And then another big thing, especially for you, Centipede, is just ironing out combo consistency. And that's something that comes with time. Whenever you feel like putting time into the lab, it just kind of comes. I'll try and focus on Tom mostly for this one, because I've been giving most of the advice for defense. So for these brass calls, instead of calling it there like you did full screen, think about moving yourself into mid-range to where you're going to be a threat. Call it, and then pressure behind it. kind of like what happened there. Unfortunately, it was a little bit wonky. The brass just barely did force them to block. Like, that's really good. What you just did right there, that is a really good time to call brass. But you do need to keep yourself... you do need to keep yourself safe to reversals a bit more. You are not respecting the fact that they can swing back with an invulnerable option. And versus certain players, you will just straight up lose the game on the spot to that. But you have a very good understanding of routing and combos, is what I would say. That's unfortunate. Okay, yeah, that's... That's all, folks. Okay, so wrapping up things very quickly, and for the record, I'm kind of trying to talk fast, get through things, because we have a lot of people, and I want to get everyone their 5 games without having it take all night. If I skip over something, if I say something that you can't understand or just straight up like doesn't make sense, please ask in chat, in the Discord channel, if you're here. And if something comes up later, like you're watching this after the fact, and you're like, what can I do here? Just ping me, preferably with a Twitch timestamp if it's like situation specific. And I will gladly get to it when I can at some point later in the night. This is a resource for y'all to learn. So if something I said doesn't make sense, please let me know and I'll reiterate. This is like, if I'm confusing y'all, I'm not doing my job and we're wasting both our time. So please help me help you. If you have other questions, shoot. That being said, wrapping it up for Centipedicure, the biggest things I think you need to work on are your hit confirms. So if you're gonna press, go through to the medium and work on reacting to whether they got hit or not. You do a lot of single hit lights, and this just isn't a game where you confirm up. We're not Street Fighter. We're not a slower game where it's like you can really buffer a follow-up. You have magic series that keep you safe on block, usually, again, up to mediums. So we highly recommend doing that. The other one is, again, just ironing out the combos. Drops are unfortunate. They will always happen no matter what level of game you play. But getting them less consistent is important. So spend a little bit of time in the lab, pull up a YouTube video or like what I used to do. I would legitimately pull up an album and just kind of play the album, practice my route. Album finished, it's like, okay, I got a good amount of time in. Even if I zoned out a little bit, it's just getting the muscle memory done. That's one of the biggest things. It's just getting the muscle memory done, getting the timing. And I think those two things, capitalizing on your hits with your hit confirms and having a full route to get the full damage across, will help you a lot. When you get those two things down, I really like your defense. I like your neutral. You've got a little bit further to go, but like you focus on those two things, you will be intermediate pretty soon. You're close. For Tom Turtle, I think you're already intermediate, and I would recommend you sign up there for the next week, for any future events you sign up for. For you, your biggest issues are keeping yourself safe during pressure. You full send and just are gonna die if they decide to reversal you. And there's no one correct option. It depends on the player you're playing. But overall, I'd recommend you tone it down. You can then further adjust it from there based on the player you're playing. And again, this is going really far down the rabbit hole into like advanced level thinking about the game of addressing your opponent more so than playing the game. But in general, you need to keep yourself safer. One way you can do that is the other thing I want you to start thinking about a little bit more is using your brass to pressure better. If you're calling brass full screen, it does buy you some time and space, but you can't really protect it that easily. And then by the time they're out of block stun, you're not really in threat range yet. So I'd recommend you play neutral to position a little bit further forward to the point where you can call brass and then be right behind it once they've blocked it, so they can't really contest. Like best peak pressure is when you can choose an option while having called brass behind you. So if they block you trying to open them up, they then have to hold brass, and then you pressure behind it again. And then if they reversal you for your first advance, Philia gets hit and then they get punched with a giant metal fist. So you can start thinking about using your brass assist a little bit more to facilitate that offense. Final thing for band, your band neutral feels a lot less honed than your Philia neutral. Band, I want to recommend being a lot more patient with the really risky options like brass, like SSJ, like A-Train, like Giant Step. Those are all somewhat sketchy. It really depends on where you do them, but more often than not, they're going to be at risk. So those are my biggest points of advice for y'all. And now we will get to the next gamers in here. And again, if y'all have any other questions, please let me know. Either now or later. It all works. That's what the server is set up to do. We're here to teach. Yeah, they're already ready. Hopefully, no more issues spectating. Also, hi Hydra. Sorry. It's been a bit scuffed. We are in fact getting great here. Stream start was an experience. Okay, I will focus mostly on the Parasol matchup. So, for Parasol, you can usually get an item drop out while they're zoning you. Oh, you could have just pressed a button. And it will interrupt their shot, and then you can kind of go into your zoning. But for Peacock, in general, it looks like you need to kind of figure out a bit more of a zoning pattern. Good bush block. That's... Oh, you can pick up off that. My brain short-circuited that bundle. You can pick up off that snipe. Get charge. PBGC, 2 HP. Calling your assist like that is really... We have charge lists. AO? Full send with the brass is a really sketchy option. Being very dangerous with your assist calls in the corner. You should have SSJ'd there, Crabadon. Pretty sure you can do SSJ into... Oh, that's so weird. Pretty sure you can do SSJ into Argus there and kill one, if not both those characters. Get charge. There it is. You gotta be very careful zoning versus Squiggly. Basically, I'm pretty sure they were in range for you to just SBO on reaction there. Okay, we do have a bit more of a zoning pattern. We just get to see it versus the Parasol. Oh, unfortunate drop. Reflector? Oh, okay, that counts. Teleport away. Good job catching them. So, Crabadonk, I think you're a little too afraid to zone. Peacock can get really ignorant with it. It kind of depends from matchup to matchup, but Peacock can zone people a lot closer than you'd expect her to be able to. Because even if they hit you, half the time the projectiles will still trade in your favor. Obviously, you need to be careful with it now after the nerf. It's not a complete get-out-of-jail-free card, but you still get to like throw an L George in their face and have it trade in your favor because you're Peacock. But especially when you're like mid screen or like 2/3 screen away, press that stand heavy punch. Put that H George out there. Just get things on screen. Make it harder to approach you. And for the record, we do recommend pausing the stream while you're playing to save connection and to save mental space, then revisiting the VOD afterwards. Please don't do this to me. Okay. We are in. Okay. Also, that's definitely an H item spot, not an M item spot. They were full screen. Boop, boop, boop. Oh, for the record, Parasoul can convert off of forward throw. Do L toss and dash forward, OTG with stand leg kick. You get a full combo. It also works for back throw. It is a really good confirm for if you ever accidentally have an egret out when you throw, which was the case there. Your egret was still out, so you couldn't get that out from. I'm going to warn against mashing as much as you are, Kravodon. And if you see someone pressing a lot of not invincible reversals, a really good mix bundle is genuinely to just do your normal mix option and hit them with the same side mid. Like straight up just drop the combo and jab. You will catch them in the startup of whatever they're doing that isn't a reversal. And you would murder Krabodonk's band right now because they are constantly pressing a heavy punch while in block stun, which comes out really slow. So yeah, Krabodonk, I would highly recommend toning that down because you were asking for them to die. Yeah, the toss after air throw into like 6 medium punch, I've never really learned that route or why it might be better or worse. I really just like the stability of OTGing with a stand light kick twice. It's really consistent. Mix. Yep, you already had L egret out, so you can't use it. Oh my god, what a stand heavy punch. Oh, throw her. So, Krabodonk, it really feels like you're kind of unsure of how to deal with Parasoul and her shots. So there's a couple things. One, push blocking her a lot, especially push blocking the tier shot itself. Para kind of really struggles to follow up after that in a lot of situations. That's a good universal thing. Then learning your specific ways to avoid the shot in some way, shape, or form is really important. So Peacock can go under it when she's on the ground. You can press 2 light kick, and if you time it right, the tier will go over you. You can, on reaction, do Argus. It gets into weird DHC things, but you can catch her with that. Full screen, if they're doing a lot of shots. So, like, if you were stuck getting shot at a lot, if you were stuck getting shot at a lot, and you're, like, already kind of in the block string issue, block the shot that detonates the one that's on top of you, then avoid the next one. You kind of have to be patient when there are tiers on you a little bit more. But if you want to really get aggressive and fight for your way out, you can do whichever item drop they're in range. Usually this is happening at H item drop range. Use H item drop to interrupt their zoning pattern, and then all of a sudden you can get H charge out, and it's really hard for them to kind of zone again. If they want to set up zoning, they then need to get Emigrid out first, and again, this is going like really far down the rabbit hole. But like, experiment with answers. Don't just sit there and hold it, because all of a sudden then you're receiving essentially the Peacock treatment, where if I just sit here and do nothing, I'm going to be in a block string the whole time, and I need to proactively figure out a solution to get myself out of this. Band, it's a little bit harder, but if you know they're gonna shot, M or H brass when the shot is coming is really important. So like this, you gotta either go over or go under with a 2-0. You punch move pretty consistently when they're close. It's a little scary. Oh, unfortunate drop. That's strange. Yeah, no, just get things on screen. Item drop when they have Emigrid out, yes. These... I don't like those punch moves. I don't like that raw tag at all. You can just keep zoning them. They were sent full screen. You're kind of stuck in the corner. You can push forward with enemy item and fight for space, or you can just sit in the corner and zone, and then call your assistant teleport out once they get closer, or even just super jump out. Like, you have a lot of options. Street Fighter confirm, okay. I think you only need to spend the SBO. You probably could have tagged Tabella while the SBO killed them if you still wanted to get the swap out. You're putting yourself at a lot of risk with these battle bots. So, like, the thing is, I think you could have dynamoed there. Yes, you are playing Grappler versus Zoner, but if you look at the game state itself, if we want to start going into intermediate advice, if you want to look at the game state, you are playing Grappler versus Zoner. You have the life lead with time ticking down. You don't need to take those massive risks to get in. You can honestly play a bit of a cagey keep away game and force them to approach you, because they need to get a lot done in the time that was left. So you can start kind of paying attention to game state a little bit and adjusting your game plan accordingly. Yeah. Do. You just gotta start zoning. There we go. Get stuff on screen. Yep. This is looking a lot better. Like, pay attention to how much harder it is for them to hit you when you're just putting stuff on screen. Like that. versus when you're just running around doing nothing. Every time you stop zoning, they gain a ton of space in, and then all of a sudden you're playing Peacock and mid-range, which is not really where you want to be. You probably could have just level 3 though. Or at the very least DHC'd into Peacock. I would spend bar there, just kill. Alright, what's the left one? Yeah, that combo's annoying on downs. I feel you. Why did that anti? Unfortunate drops. It happens. Oh no. Oh wait, you actually recover in time. You can DHC the SSJ there, Crabadonk. Oh no! Okay, if you do 360 there, you win. I know that's hard. I know that's hard, I'd miss it up. I know I would not hit that. 360 wins there. Diamond Drop may have one there. But that's an armored option. You're not going to break the armor before it hits you, so you need to throw it. I'm pretty sure 360 wins there, but yeah, that's a sketchy situation. So for wrapping up for Crabadonk, I think you just gotta get a little bit more comfy playing Peacock, and I want to like prescribe you just throw out projectiles more, even when you're a little bit more afraid. And then the important part of this is take note of where things do or don't work. Take the risk, just go, I'm gonna focus on actually getting stuff on screen. And then by virtue of trying it, you get more experience on what works, what doesn't, where I need to be afraid, where I don't need to be afraid. And that will help your zoning and your like Peacock awareness a lot more. The other side to that is you gotta stop using embing as much. You rely on that a lot, and it's going to get you killed. So those, I think, are my biggest things for you, Crabadonk, alongside routing and very specifically using bar to kill with DHCs. Even without, like, there were a couple times your band could have just spent the SSJ and killed. And then there were other times where SSJ into Argus would have killed, or SSJ into Lenny into Argus would have killed. And understanding how to spend a meter effectively is a very important thing in this game. And so that kind of comes full circle. It's always going to be important. That's actual oatmeal. For you, Bundle, I was focusing mostly on Crabadonk because it was an open lobby. But okay, what were the things? A lot of my comments for you were more like very specific situations. So beyond that, beyond specific things, awareness of what, honestly, one of the biggest things was awareness of whether you had an egret or not. You really tried to use L-egret to convert off of things when it wasn't available, because you would like just used it. You had just used an egret, and so it wouldn't be there. Understanding alternatives to that, or keeping track of when you have it so you don't use an option that requires an egret. Is pretty important for being a Parasol player. It's hard, but you kind of slowly get the gist of it. Oh, the other big thing, because getting a little bit more into intermediate, is paying attention to your opponent's tendencies, paying attention to your opponent's habits. Start paying attention to the options they choose on defense, and you'll really start killing some intermediate players. Because that is one of the like middle steps going from intermediate to advanced, where you need to learn how to play versus your opponent. And so this is hard. This matchup is annoying. You have them in the corner, exactly where you want them to be. Push block them, keep them in the corner. That sucks. I am so sorry. Yeah, it's rough. Oh, no confirm. Be very careful about silver cord on block. One thing I kind of want you to think about is your assist usage. So all of your assists are relatively short range, with the exception of Dragon Bite, which is kind of mid-range, and Locker Mode. Ask yourself why you're calling them full screen. Yeah, comboing double. Highly recommend spending dedicated time for your like squiggly combo practice on double, because she makes everything so much more annoying. Oh, you can press on the way down there and kill her. Oh no, that's a SBO or Daisy. Daisy there. Oh, good grip. Dive kick gives you a confirm. Nah, that sucks. Grip. Oh. Uh-oh. Oh, almost. Yeah, got caught pressing a little too much. Getting a little too antsy for that hit. But yeah, so playing versus Robo is learning to play a very deliberate game plan, especially with some of your characters. Like Parasol and Bella have to play that matchup pretty honest. And so you're going to patiently approach in a way that you can block almost all the beams. Try and get her scared enough to run herself into the corner, and then force the issue, stay close enough to be a threat, and try and just keep her there. Because that is where she's terrified. But you need to do the patient work beforehand to get her into that situation. There are ways to kind of like cheat the system a little bit, but they're all put yourself at risk. It's really hard versus Bomber. I fully get you. But again, one thing that will help, calling your assist at a range will be effective. Got them to the corner, got the hit. Love to see it. Doop, doop. Oh, this time the air throw. Gotta delay it slightly. I like that. Just be patient, crawl them to the corner, call your assist, force them to interact with it. Oh, they really got out. Okay. Reminder, at any point in time, you can emigrate, snipe, SBO, and get yourself out. Because eventually you will get chipped out. Oh no. Hit. Yeah, you can't do that with that assist out there. Oh no! Do you have these on you? Sorry. You had 5 bar. I 100% understand wanting to get the character in. You could have killed the Swiggly to get the character in. Car. You can flush it up through that, you can car from the other side, and then DHC into Eliza after. You don't even need to for the kill. Good reaction. No! Okay, so when you hit the assist like that, Silver Cord is no longer going to be what you want. Ideally, if you have bar there, you walk up and snap immediately, because you'll get the mid-screen double snap. But if you don't, you need to recognize that, change your routing, and immediately go into launcher. Silver cord H dive kick. I would have loved to see you do silver cord and jump immediately, dive kick, and take the corner. You don't have OTG? I love that pressure, actually. Didn't trust yourself to get the combo and just went, alright, I'm gonna make the best out of this. You have to pay attention to time, and Oatmeal is doing a very good job being aware. You have to force the issue sometime soon, you need damage. You gotta mix, you don't have enough time to kill with a full time, I don't think. Not off that hit. Oh my god! Don't mix, no! So you don't need to kill to win the game there? Did you just taunt? Why are we doing that here? You don't gotta be like that. What? Come on, man. That ain't it. We're here to learn. Like, there's no reason to have an ego here. I'm sorry. It's just... okay, where was I? You don't need to reset to, win the game there. You could do the entirety of the rest of your combo, and the game would end, and so you would have been in control all the way to the end of the game with the life lead, and that guarantees the win. Good, confirm. Yep, a little bit too far. If the 4 heavy kick isn't gonna reach, you gotta just LE grid early. I do want to warn you against using H shot as much as you are. It feels good to use, but if they ever avoid it or deal with it in the moment, you are in so much recovery afterwards. There's a reason L shot is the default for a lot of pairs. Sprinkling in an H shot is very good for mixing up the zoning pattern. Yes, love that, love that. Got her out. But L shot will keep you significantly more safe. No. Oh, you might have been able to silver cord there for the confirm. Yep, I was about to suggest I would love to see you throw there. Oh no. Yeah, it's hard to pick up from. Yeah, we gotta cut out these tumble run, especially the battle in neutral. Oh, that's a punish. Press a light or a medium there and you get the hit after blocking the Clyde. Emigret, you kinda gotta do it. These are all projectiles. Gotta get that gotta get that Emigret out. Oh my god. I'm gonna try and focus a little bit more on Oatmeal because I've been putting a lot of the attention on Bundle, because they've been struggling to get through the zoning. But let's see, let's see where your holes are, Oatmeal. What you got? Okay, we're starting with the Eliza point.
Cameras rolling and action.
I don't think he did that round start right. They shouldn't be able to up forward like that and dodge it, especially dash jump. Boop, boop. Kind of expensive, and so I kind of understand what you were going for, but I don't like it that much in that situation. You didn't have a reason to really want Parasol out bad enough to go for a read like that. I disagree with that a bit. Oatmeal? When you're playing double and you're like right on top of them, jump medium punch is a really stupid button. Oh no, we didn't block that. Gun? What a pickup! Oh my god, that sucks. Yeah, if you just dash into it and block, so input a dash and immediately turn back, you will get rid of that monster. Oatmeal, you spent all that effort. No, go into level 3 there. Level 3 keeps you safe and lets you pressure. At the very least, go into bikes instead of sniper. Because sniper is basically a guaranteed punish and bikes is awkward. But yeah, Oatmeal, you spent all that bar to save your double and then just immediately sent her to die. So, if you DHC into 360 there, instead of going into Dynamo, you get a full combo afterwards. Because you recover from 360 pretty quickly and they're still in crumble. What's the mix? Full combo? No, I already used that. Oh my god. Whew. Gotta keep track of that IPS. It's really important. I'm not gonna lie, you got pretty lucky with that snipe. But sometimes you gotta gamble. You were in a really bad spot after that burst. Okay. Last game, I'll try and put a little bit more focus on Oatmeal still. Eliza did not get to play last game. Caught is a good round start, mostly as a call-out round start. It's honestly quite risky. Yes, that is how you deal with shot spam, especially H-shot. Oh, you gotta throw there. Throw or snap. The Bones has armor. First bait. No sparkles. Assist is gonna make this weird. Are you ready? Not quite. Yeah. Doing caught versus someone who's airborne is usually really sketchy. You have to know your ranges and your heights. That was not a good time to caught. You don't have OTG. Yeah, awkward, they were high. No bar to confirm. You lost OTG. Yeah. Stuck in the corner. Good push block. You run yourself to the corner a lot, Oatmeal. Did you throw them to the corner? Nope. Oh, unfortunate. So instead of calling your assist there, you could unironically just raw tag to Bella. And unless they're already running at you, it's a hard spot to punish. And they've been zoning the whole game. Bella's got to get a bit more comfy with our options. Can use Merry-Go-Rilla more, quarter circle backward throw. It's a really good, it is one of the biggest RPS tools Bella has. Gives her a full combo afterwards. It's just a ton of front-loaded damage. It's really good to get. Punish! Oh, you can press earlier. If you're unsure about the punish, just press a light. Get that hit. Because it is very important you punish them for going for something like that. Monster gone. So... Level 3? Okay, level 1. A little bit greedy. Ellie Grit, yeah, you gotta avoid the heavy kick there. It's just learning your ranges, it's hard. Oh no, you get an Emmy Grit out. Yeah. Unfortunate. Oh my god. Usually if you're gonna do something that could easily be interrupted by a Robo Beam, you're gonna want Emmy Grit out first. Okay, so... Sorry, I'm apparently dying. I forgot how to, like, exist as a human. But so for bundle, part of it is just learning the Robo matchup. It's annoying. Again, be a lot more deliberate with your movement. Specifically for Bella, it looks like you really only wanted to move forward using Lock and Load or Tumble Run. A good universal option, and it's pretty solid for Bella. Bella's step dash is not that bad, is to just dash and then block. Very, you're not up yet. There's one more match. Is to dash and block. You will gain space going that way. You will keep yourself safe going that way. It helps you interact with a couple things. So again, dash block will help you clear monster. You can dash, take that momentum forward, and then hold block while you're still finishing your dash, and you will be blocking while dashing. And so you'll just you'll run into the monster, block it, and then it'll be gone. You'll have dealt with it. So that will help a lot, especially in some of the zoning matchups and some of the slower matchups, dealing with a double who likes zoning, dealing with Peacock and Robo, dealing with like Fuqua and Valentine who are more zoning heavy. Like, it is a very important concept to get used to and to apply in certain matchups and certain situations. It is the safest, most consistent way to get space. So highly recommend doing that. Dash blocking more. Robo is just a tedious matchup for a lot of your characters. It's gonna be the game, unfortunately. The other big thing that I think will help you out a ton is use your assists more deliberately. So you don't have any assists that go full screen. You have very few reasons to call them full screen. If you want them to body block a projectile or another assist, that's a really good time to call them. Just do that intentionally. Don't autopilot and call lock and load when you're never going to get anything from it whatsoever. So think about your assist calls, why you're calling them, and at what ranges they'll be effective. And I think you'll have a much better time locking down a slippery target like the Robo. Because you called them a little bit too early in a lot of situations, or even full screen, and then didn't have access to them when you really would have wanted them. And so that will help you a lot for your pressure. So for you, Bundle, again, recommend more patient approaches, practicing dash blocking, and focusing on assist calls. When you want to call them, why you're calling them, do it with intention rather than autopilot. And then eventually, it will become an autopilot again in a much better spot because you've trained yourself to recognize the, what it's called. Train yourself to recognize the situations more subconsciously than actively. For oatmeal, 1, don't taunt. And bracket, sure, getting into your opponent's head, more than fine. In essentially educational friendlies, come on, like, breh. Beyond that, actual advice, your Eliza is swinging at ranges she is not threatening. You overcommitted going through your heavies a ton, or trying to fish for a caught when it wasn't the right range. Eliza is a character you have to know your ranges. So iron that out a little bit more, and part of it is just going to be pressing and figuring out what does and doesn't work. But we saw a lot of what doesn't work, so it's got to start going. Lesson learned, can't do this here, got to put it in another spot. That was one of the biggest things for Eliza. The Robo, I didn't have too many issues with the Robo. The other big one was DHC habits and rotating characters. You spent bar to save a character to then just kill them anyway. Why? That the double, you can press different buttons at different ranges. Your double was jump heavy punch the character. She's more than that. Her air buttons are phenomenal. Jump medium kick is a really good air to air. Jump light punch is a really good rising air to air. You didn't play her in a way that put yourself in that situation all that often, so don't worry about jump light punch as much. Jump medium punch is the one I want to see you use more. You are landing on people with jump heavy punch in a spot where jump medium punch would be a lot better. Jump medium punch is a dumb button that you can also fast fall just like jump heavy punch, by the way. And it is jarring to deal with. Highly, highly recommend jump medium punch a lot more for your double. Yeah, it was also you. Also just learning a couple more responses, just instantaneous responses. You saw a Diamonds Are Forever full screen, a Bella level 3. You had multiple answers to like outright punish it, and you just did nothing. So kind of getting in the headspace of, I see the super flash screen, I have a second to figure out what my answers are, and just understanding what wins here. And even if you're not for sure, even if you're not like certain, try and think of a solution, send it. If it works, you know an answer. If it doesn't, you know that doesn't work, or you might need to do it at like a slightly different timing. It's a really good habit to get into of super flash, read screen instantly, and go problem, answer. And just like instantly have a response. It is very important for a game like this, especially when you're dealing with supers that don't have hit stop. Very, very important for those situations. You'll get a lot of mileage out of just knowing the right answer. It will legitimately just win you games. Because some people will try and knowledge check you and you'll go, no, I win here. So yeah, I think that's my biggest piece of advice for y'all. Again, reminder, any of my advice doesn't make sense, you're rewatching this at a later date and I didn't address something you had a question about, please just ping me in the server and I will get to it when I can. This is a live event. It's hard to get through everything. I will gladly go back and, preferably with a timestamp, look at a question you have and address it later today. So it's an educational event. I'm here to help. Help me help. If you have questions, just ask. All right, let's get HMAD, and I think it was salt, right? No, it was candy. Wrong. Wrong food. Wrong food. Yeah, thank you for volunteering for para matchup experience. It helps a lot when someone is able and willing to play a ton of games. Hope the advice helps, and again, if you have questions anytime, just shoot away. Alright, let's get these gamers through this. Candy, I'm focusing on neutral, specifically Bella neutral. And HMAD. Oh yeah, I know what I'm gonna pay attention to your pressure. I'm gonna pay attention to how often you just move forward and make yourself a threat. This matchup sucks. I'm sorry. But slowly crowd to the corner, body block. I think you can arm there. Got the hit. Maybe that Ace Storage ruins it. Caught them with the ult chair and kill them. So, one thing to think about, HMAD, is how much you're using ult chair. Granted, it's working right now. When it stops working, you can then use that respect you bought with Ultra to then end your block string and just dash at them. Bonk. Good kill. Yeah, you kind of want to dive kick there, Candy. Because you didn't drag them all the way to the ground, so they can land cancel. Kind of want to see you push block more overall, Candy. Hit charge? Yes. Alright, what's the rob? Dive kick? Yes. Take the corner back. Stand medium punch? Wow, they were close enough for you to get that. Silver cord? If you silver cord there, you get like 2 full strings after. It's stupid. Spend it all. Get your charges. Yeah. It's kind of the deal with Big Band Candy, but try and have incomings that deal with both timpani and incomings that give you options versus parry OS. If you could find an incoming that does both, you are in a very good spot versus the Beowulf man, the Big Band man.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime.
HP? For offense, I kind of want to say you're just going a little bit too far on your hit confirms. That sucks. Good confirm, maybe. Easy mash. One thing to think about Candy is you're the zoner with the life lead. You can take the risk to go in. You can also just back off zone and extend advantage. That is always a good option. So, it turned out in your favor, you won the scramble after, but... Oh, you got hit and then blocked the mix. But yeah, you can always just move. Again, you're putting yourself at a lot of risk in these situations. Case in point. HMAD, I would have liked to see you jump over the corpse. You would have gotten a little bit more space. That's... you hate to see it. But yeah. If you had jumped for the bounce, you would have gotten a little bit more space. It's a very tiny thing, but you're at the level where it's worth mentioning. I mean, if you enjoy going in, it's fine, and Peacock can kind of run a stupid offense at times, but you do it too much, you leave yourself open to what just happened. Peacock can pressure really safely, like, she has safe jumps and all that sort of stuff. You just gotta use it right. Oh, is that supposed to be a dash jump? Good jump to heavy kick. That sucks. Poke. That's crazy. I really like that option, H-Man, though. Just get yourself out. No! Alright. I know that matchup sucks, H-Man, but I don't think that was a situation where you necessarily needed to tap out. Up forward, parry the H-Sword that's incoming, and you're at mid-screen where brasses are a threat. Dash forward. Oh no! If you had air dashed in with jump medium punch, you would have broken the locomotive armor. Yep. Attack forward. PBGC? Yes! Oh, that sucks. That's crazy. Yeah, that's rough. But yeah, one of the biggest things for you, HMod, is I think you need to work on stopping your block strings earlier. And like, there's a time and a place to extend them and frame trap people and all that sort of stuff, or like delay and push block wait. I'm not saying never do this. I'm saying you need to mix in ending on a medium and then just dashing at your, especially if you called your assist right before you pressed light. It's like light, medium, your assist auto confirms it for you. And if they block, you have light, medium, they block the assist, you're dashing forward at them. And then you're staying a lot closer and forcing them to deal with Beowulf in their face for longer. Bunk, 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 bunk. Oh my god, do that. Is what I would say. Nice. H-Man, please. Just kill her. That's hilarious. I'm not sure if it would have worked there, but I am land cancel diamond drop every time. Wait, can you not 2 LK, 2 medium K? Didn't get to confirm on both of them there? Am I crazy? Pretty sure you got a happy birthday that close. Or did like medium punch to heavy punch? You had 3 bar in the tank. You could have gotten a lot of damage on both of them. So extra. All for the penguin. I'm gonna focus a lot more on Candy this game. I've been putting a lot of the advice on H-Man. Pin is optimal. Okay, so Theo is door stuck until he isn't. Good item drop. Makes... That didn't combo. Yep, lock and load can't save you from everything. Especially with characters who have multi-hitting jump-ins, which are a lot of characters in this game. Lock and load is not gonna save you. So don't treat it like a get out of jail free defense card, because that is not what it is. Yeah, you can't do that. Not in their face. Not unless you immediately went up to Lenny, which might have... I think if you go to Lenny, you're fine there. I think... I can't remember if it was this set or last set. I want to say it's this set. I want to see you push block with Candy. Also, yeah, red light, green light, he's got 2 bar. I feel like you push block really late. A bit more early push blocking will help you, because you're holding a lot, and then you're push blocking when they're putting themselves at a bit more risk. The anti-air was very good. That was a very well placed 2LK. Okay, so there was like no Bella anywhere. Yeah, it happens. I don't know how long you've been here, Bag, but you might be able to help more on the Peacock like specific advice than I can. But so how do I want to put this? You had an over-reliance on lock and load to salvage the mid-screen zoning situation. Once they found the gap, you called lock and load and lived or died by whether it worked or not. And so it's like when HMAD did a jump to HK and just dropped the chair on you and avoided the lock and load, you got cooked. When HMAD recognized, oh, I can press jump medium punch and break this, you got cooked. So figuring out other solutions when they're there, whether that's a back jump heavy punch, whether that's teleport forward or backwards, whether that's just backdash and then zone again, you have a couple different options, but you gotta mix it up a little bit. Yeah, okay. Very much pay attention to the Baghdad advice. They're a solid Peacock player. Good enough to tilt me. And then... Yeah, I mean, you're learning the Bella. The Bella's kind of just figuring out life. It's a piece of it. Understand you have a 4-frame option. Diamond drop is stupid. If you're landing close enough to them and you think it's like scrambly-ish, diamond drop is usually a good option. It's just dumb. It just works. Don't know if I have too much else for the Bella, because like you said, she didn't get to play too much. What else else was there? I feel like there was one more thing I wanted to give to you, Candy. It's really hard to watch someone understand why they're doing things. And until you can understand why they're doing things, you're not going to get much from it. It is really hard to understand someone else's thought process. Don't feel bad about that. I honestly, like, I really don't study what other parasouls do. I'm not going to lie. I might notice block strings or certain things watching tournaments and be like, oh, I can implement that. But, I'd much rather talk with the person than watch their plays, because they can try and explain in a way that makes sense versus I need to figure out why they think the way they do based on interactions I don't fully understand. It's really hard to get that. Yeah, I think those are my biggest things for you, Candy. I'm sorry, I wanted to say more, but for whatever reason I'm blanking on what else I may have had. Oh, yeah, no, the push block thing. The push block thing. I want you to try and push block earlier. I want you to be push blocking a little bit earlier. Doesn't necessarily need to be first hit. First hit's kind of hard to get used to, and it's predictive. It helps you a lot, but it leaves you open up to get baited. But you were like push blocking very late on like second or third hit, or on jump-ins that were really obvious and that sort of thing. And that gave HMAD the opportunity to stick around a lot longer, force you to block something else, call an assist, and you just weren't creating the space to force them to like push the issue to get back in. There are points in time to not push block. You cannot push block and press in certain situations and catch them off guard. That's going very much down the rabbit hole, and I'm willing to talk about that a lot more later if you have questions talking about that. There is no correct answer for what is the best time to push block. But like HMAD said, early push blocks, especially versus Bayo, Annie's honestly up there too, they do a lot to shut down their pressure. So recommend working towards push blocking a little bit earlier. There are risks involved. There are 100% risks involved. But that's the game you play. If there was always one correct answer, it wouldn't be a fighting game. Because there wouldn't be a guess. There's just a, I win. Yeah, and like they're saying, push block opens up other defensive options. Push block absolute guard is really annoying for Beowulf to deal with. PBGC forces... If you can't PBGC, highly recommend practicing that. Legitimately, like, go into a lab, set a bot to call hairball assist, or even just do raw hairball, and practice the PBGC timing. It is very important to get used to. And it's hard to do in game, don't get me wrong. Translating that to in game is hard, but you got to take it step by step, build the muscle memory on the timing. Once you have the timing down, start recognizing, oh, I can mash here. So the practicality of practicing it versus a bot like that is you have the timing down. Once you fully understand the timing, when you're in game, you go, I understand my push block, or like my PBGC window is coming up shortly, and I'm paying attention to the options my opponent has already committed to. And if I see they pressed a heavy, and I see that startup while I know my stuff is going to end, all of a sudden it's like, oh, they're going to be vulnerable during the time I know I will be out of push block. I'm sending it. So it's like you can start from very bare bones to then build up to using PBGC in a practical situation. But saying I can't learn, I don't want to learn PVGC because I can't use it immediately is just going to gatekeep you from ever learning how to PVGC properly. And that's the way I'll put it. It's like if you prevent yourself from learning it, you're never going to learn it. So you got to start somewhere. For HMAD, I think the biggest thing for you is changing up your block strings. You are very consistently going like all the way through to a heavy plus assist, or all the way through to a special like L chair or M chair or H chair on block. And that's good in certain situations. Tailor that offense to the people it beats. To the people who all of a sudden start playing a lot more patient, push block you once, push block you twice, send you full screen, or half screen, send you to a distance you can't pressure behind. Yeah, they did keep getting hit by L chair, but there were times where you went like all the way into 2 HP. Happened once or twice. Like you went really far in, and in general, you can kind of hit confirm on the medium punch and go, did they push block me out by now? If they did, and again, I think I said this, but it's like, call your assist before you even commit to the light. Do something. Assist auto confirms it. If they got hit, if they didn't get hit, they're dealing with the assist, and you straight up just hop dash right behind it. And all of a sudden you're in their face again without them being able to really interact. Just sticking closer and adjusting your block strings and movement to their push block habits is really annoying. And I think that's the biggest thing I want you to work on, not just for Beowulf, for Annie too. Annie's a lot more threatening when she's in her throw range. I can understand the conversion being annoying, but I guess the question is, what do you run the assist for then? Because that is one of the major reasons to run that assist. We can continue talking about this. I'm gonna let these gamers get going. I don't want to hold it up a ton. No, I understand the reluctance to use an option that's hard to get reward off of. It's understandable, but you can. I mean, yeah, it's just a practice thing. Alright, what we got? Would any of these gamers want anything specific? Nope. Okay. Counter! What in the world? You pull something out. No! Oh. I know it's hard to do, but you see an assist coming in like that, very stop on the jab, and I think you recover in time to throw. And I'm pretty sure your assists give you throw confirms. Snap! Yes, sir! Be very careful relying on your assist in the corner, Suki. I know you know, but like, you gotta say. Yeah, unfortunate. Tried to say corner to corner, I understand. No alpha counter berry? If you had just let the sniper rock, they didn't get a confirm there. Suki. Very throw! Throw! Very. I know you haven't played against Dahlia much, but that is the biggest throw me scream in the game. Get the assist. Yeah. What a trade. Zoning. Both of y'all can hit your opponent's assists more when they're throwing it at you full screen. Just straight up use your launcher and jump cancel it. Bonk. Y'all gotta be a little bit more used to hitting assists at this point. What in the... Suki? Yeah. You gotta get that spacing down a little bit better, Barry. I'm kind of surprised you're not mashing there. Okay, game one. Okay. Both y'all are kind of scrambling. Dropped my bed. I mean, yeah, it happens. What in the... Okay, that wins. PBGC jab. I want to see you throw more, very... Like... You have a team that gives you the confirms. Did you keep track of IPS? No, you did not. Because of the assist hit, you were in a different stage. That air dash train was stage 2, not stage 1. So you're in stage 5. Yeah. Keep paying attention, Suki. Angry. Well, like, Suki's kind of just turtling and holding as much as they can, or sometimes mashing a throw vulnerable reversal. Throw will do wonders for you. Can Painwheel death crawl with that? Am I crazy? Good defense. You should have gotten PBGC killed for that, Suki. Yeah, I think you extended a little bit too far. They just gave you respect. First bait. Air throw. First bait. Alright, cat girl in. Why are you coming in swinging at that range, Ray? You can run under shots, don't forget. That's gross. Good land cancel. I want to see you start using stand heavy kick ×2. Cancel before the final hit. I think it'll help you a lot. It also just deals more damage. Bonk, bonk. No bar required. You have 5 bar though. That sucks. Wait. Oh my god. Okay. What the? That's an interaction. Did it crash my game? Okay, here we go. Fortune too small. Is that only game 2? That was really only game 2.
Wide on the set. Action.
Mix. That sucks. You do use air dash, IAD, jump, heavy punch a lot, Very. There are some ranges I would like to see you do another option. That's nice. Mostly jump, light punch, or jump, light kick, depending on the situation. And low crash for now. Pop. Sad. Mix. That's unfortunate. That's really unfortunate. Let's go, PPGC. Very important tool. Okay, Tsuki, I'm gonna look at you a bit more. I think I've been focusing on Very mostly.
Time to put on a show. Let's rock.
Alright, got the hit. Set up. Drops. It's happened enough, I gotta say it. I gotta tap the sign, Tsuki. So it's time to iron out our combos a little bit. I know it's not fun, but it must be done. Can you stabilize? No! Kind of more to the point. Routing is important. If you throw that, like, yeah, Very, I think you gotta throw a bit more. It's another layer that very much changes how you want to think about the game. Good jump in. Boop, boop, boop. Do you have a heavy counter hit, Tsugi? Yeah, you gotta super jump and be a little bit earlier if you're gonna beat that. It's a little bit weird after the changes. Same thing for you, Tsuki. Throwing a little bit more will help a lot. Throwing is usually a pretty good option in scrambles. Alright, fifth the game. Maybe off of that? I think, yeah. Not quite, right? Oh my god. No, Very! Tsuki, if you just did Gregor there, you won. Oh, you just had to do Gregor again. The scramble. Zoning. I don't know Dolly enough to know why you pressed that button there. Got counter crossed up. You are relying very heavily on this pillar for defense. And while it's kind of what it's there for, I don't know whether it's you're calling it at the wrong times or like something's got to change with these assist calls. Is the crux of it. I very much like MTOS versus Pinwheel. Shots, not so much. If the Pinwheel knows what she's doing, she kind of avoids them. The only one I'll really go for is M-Shot if they're really in the bad spot. Good air throw. Pop, pop. That has to be from the changes. But like, yeah, shot doesn't end up doing too much. I like setting up a tier, either M tier or a tier at my feet, to just make running at me when they eventually need to come down from flying a lot harder. Oh, where's the PBGC pillar? Suki, I think you're a little bit too respectful on... Well, it's weird, because... I don't know, you're mashing a lot on Dahlia, but not as much on the others. It's weird. I don't know how to properly... Yep, multi-hits. Multi-hits versus Pinwheel. Very good. These multi-hits, I want to say, for this matchup, you want to stay close enough to always be a threat, but to also always be able to bail after they move forward, or cross under them. You've definitely got to play the dash dance spacing game, and you want to be catching them as they're landing once they're out of flight. Bro, it is Pinwheel. Yeah, she's annoying to play. But so, for Para v Pinwheel, the things I've personally figured out I like a lot more. Again, like, when she's on the ground, you can catch her with your zoning a little bit. But once she's flying, I'm much more focusing on, one, fix my spacing. Two, when I'm no longer at threat, when I'm no longer at threat, getting an M-Toss out to possibly like jump medium punch and contest Pinwheel, because that is actually one of your buttons that can fight back, especially with a tier det right behind it. So if you space your jump medium punch at your M-Toss, it does a lot of work. Or I put an L-Toss at my feet, or even better, honestly, is to do a hold L-Toss so it stops like at your shins or at your knees. So if she ever flies at me, she is risking... She cannot overextend into that shot or that tier that's on you. Otherwise, it explodes and she dies. Obviously, she has the option to like armor through it and play that game. Like, it's not foolproof, but it puts pressure on them to force the issue. Or they back off, give you screen space, you dash forward, rinse, repeat, and then play for that. And then once they're close enough for the corner, they don't have the space to fly away, and you just swap them out of the sky. For Dahlia, I don't have a great bearing on that matchup. Jump medium punch has got to be good. Dash jump medium punch will catch her, at least in some way, shape, or form. But you're probably using a lot of spaced like H shot, especially H air shot, to prevent her from approaching at the angle she wants to, force her under you, and then when she's under you, you have jump light punch, you have jump heavy punch. Figuring out how to either nullify what Pinwheel wants to do or prevent her from going where she wants to go are two very big things at dealing with that character. For the... What was your last character? I wanted to say something about it. Brain completely lost train of thought. Philia. For Philia, I don't think you really have the buttons to contest her in the air. That's kind of just not where Philia excels. Where you excel is your movement. And so you want to be in a spot. So like I'm not a big fan of the way you approached it, where you were like trying to airball up to her, because she can just fly away and then all of a sudden you're hanging out there, not in a range to air dash and hit her with anything. Or if you are, it's like air dash jump heavy punch and she can armor through it. It's a very linear approach that plays very much into her game. Whereas you can dash dance on the ground or like box jump and make her really have to have her spacing right. And if you catch her going for a jump medium punch while you were moving forward, all of a sudden you're too close for her jump medium punch to be spaced properly, and you can like anti-air it or go under it, that sort of thing. Or you go in, bait it, backdash out. She's now landing close to the ground. You have her on the ground. You can go in before she really gets flying away back in the spot she's comfortable. And so it's like, these are me just in my head figuring out the windows my character has to interact with this creature who's flying away from me. And so it's like, those solutions might be more or less effective, but they are a game plan that doesn't play into Pinwheel's strengths. And you need to figure out a way to do that, because Pinwheel is definitely a character that when she's in control of the game, it is her game and you need to find a way to deal with it. That's why she's so annoying. Just drop a piano on her. Yeah. And then I don't know how to... I'm at the stage where I see things I don't like and I can't easily like verbally describe exactly why I dislike them. But I will say, I feel like you mash in predictable or bad spots and then don't mash in the scrambly situations that much. It's like hard for me to describe. I know I've talked with HMAT about this too, where it's like the very predictable spots to mash are the oh my god, I just blocked like 3 layers of pressure and neutral's kind of reset. Oh crap, they can come at me again, I'm gonna mash here. And that is a very like stock standard upper intermediate habit, because it kills a lot of lower intermediate players who don't have the wherewithal to just stop and breathe. But versus players who have that experience, we stop for a second and go, are they just gonna kill themselves? And then they do. Versus, and like this is something, honestly, watching high level play has made this make a lot more sense for me, where if you just have the ability to go, oh my god, the situation is stupid, so like when drops are happening, when the game's just going to like absolute garbage, no, you did deal with the fortune really well, and you had some good counters, and then you fished for it a little bit too much. That's kind of where like my headspace is going, and then you just didn't mash on her with your other characters all that much, and so it's like you got to find a happy medium of where it's effective. But sorry, I interrupted my train of thought. When stuff's just going stupid, reacting to it instantly and just going, I'm sending. Like watching Elgato has really gotten in my head of like, oh my god, it's gonna sound stupid, but like there's a skill to mashing well. It, like, obviously there is, but it's just kind of the realization watching a player like that who I consider a really smart player just full sending it. In what seems like a quote brainless way, but it's like if you do it in the stupidest spot, in the most like scramble when no one expects it spot, because you recognize the situation fast enough, that works so well for this game. And so like that situation where both of y'all were just like dropping game-winning combos on each other in the corner, also because recognizing a chip out would have killed in that situation as well. That's a different story, but like that's a situation that's perfect for just going, oh crap, like we're both just swinging. This game has devolved into madness. They're not going to be expecting this. They're not respecting it, and sending it there. But like overall, both of y'all played really well. Outside of maybe some of the drops, the other thing for Yusuke is, unfortunately, maybe you got to spend a little bit more time in the lab, because there were some unfortunate issues there. And I think I'll leave it at that for you, because I've been rambling, yapping. Getting to very... very, 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 very... The Fortune is still kind of a bit brain empty. More so, a lot of the pressure makes sense, but you're then not adjusting to what your opponent's doing. It's a whole lot of air dash button, oftentimes jump heavy punch. Again, I think there are some spaces where jump light kick would be a lot better button to press there than jump heavy punch. Same thing with jump light punch. Like if you're going for the cross up, I would much rather see the jump light punch Elgato than just IED jump heavy punch, because jump heavy punch is weird and just whiffs randomly. Like it's really character specific. For all of your characters, but especially the Fortune, I really think you're gonna hit people, especially at least like you're gonna open up Suki a lot more if you just throw. You have assists that give you throw confirms. Do it. Fortune throw is kind of stinky. Like I understand not liking it that much, but it's still a tool. Like it's pretty effective for me. No one expects the Fortune throw. Everyone's like, oh, they're just gonna like four-way me, and it's like, nope, you. This option. Fortune air throw is really good. Ground throw gets a lot. Well, it's not really good, but like it's good enough. Painwheel's throw. So like again, universally, your characters throw more. Para's throw got buffed, so now it doesn't feel anywhere near as bad. The animation is a bit more honest to what the throw hitbox is. But throwing in this game is really good. It's really good in scrambles. It's another layer to get people to really worry about on defense. It adds a lot. It'll add a lot to a lot of your characters, and especially for like Parasol Painwheel, dash up throw is a jump scare on both of those characters. It is stupid. And Painwheel's grab especially is deceptively long. So throw more. You'll catch them. You'll catch them lacking. Beyond that, I feel like the biggest thing was just your Painwheel spacing is off, and I know you're getting back into the swing of things, so just worth thinking about why you are or are not pressing jump medium punch at certain spots. The other thing, I want to see you use Hatred Armor a little bit more, Hatred Guard. Block through pressure, that sort of deal. It's really good in scrambles. Hatred Armor got a lot better, is my understanding, after the buff, and it was already kind of good. But you're returning, trying to relearn some old habits. I understand. But yeah, unless y'all have any other questions, I will be wrapping up the stream and trying to send y'all somewhere else. I think Munoz might be doing exhibitions still. Yes, sir. Hopefully it's not over. I'm gonna be so sad if I immediately send y'all to another stream that's end. I mean, having an armored jab is still really good. Don't get me wrong. It's pretty good. But like, the bigger thing is all of them are good options. They all have their time and place. I could do. Raid's kind of getting going. I'm gonna put the video up and catch y'all on the other side. Have a good one, guys.
And my spectator.
That's okay.
Oh, nice. Ooh.
Oh, we avoided
Let's go.
it. Nice.
Oh, let me see it.
Hey,
Here's the combo.
you finished this. They died.
It's somewhat of a combo,
Nice.
yeah.
Hey, they're dead.
We're missing a few more parts to it, but hey.
Yeah.
We got combination.
It's like we have some bombas, but like our knowledge of the mechanics of the game are not exactly there just yet.